been a minute since we got to talk about sleep. Okay, so why do I always wake up around 3 a.m.? I don't know. Why do ya? Let's figure it out. Manage your metabolism by feeding your liver what it needs to do its work without waking you up. Interesting. So your liver's interrupting your sleep schedule? Okay, this is new and interesting. There is a frustrating and all too common phenomenon that plagues many a sleeper. It goes something like this. Falling asleep is no problem, but in the early morning hours, one wakes up agitated and restless. You probably might have a dog and might be nudging you to let them out. Who knows? This can last up to an hour or two before finally falling back to sleep. Upon rising is feeling of being unrested and what we call non-restorative sleep in integrate medicine. Interesting. If this describes your sleep cycle, you're probably watching the video. Here are two related explanations that directly lead to actionable strategies that help you sleep through the night. The first is the traditional Chinese medicine theory that posits that the body's vital energy peaks in 2-hour time frames as it circulates through the body. Between 1 and 3 a.m. when the liver's function is most active. Interesting. This occurs with Western biomedical physiology that understands that the body performs much of its repair and detoxification while asleep. All right. This brings up important distinctions that may be made in this juncture. TCM capitalizes a name when referring to it in Eastern medicine. This delineates the TCM organ and its holistic relationship with the body, mind, emotions, and spirits. Thus, lowercase liver is the organ as we think of it in Western terms and our understanding of its physiology. Get to the gist of it. Waking up around 3 a.m. at the end of the liver time suggests that the body has worked hard processing environmental and emotional stressors. All right. Dreams are more pronounced during the early morning hours as unresolved issues from the day and the weeks prior play out in bizarre and disturbing dreamscapes. Okay, yet during your rapid eye movement sleep. Okay, that's been well documented. This alone can wake us up with a racing heart and mind, but a Western understanding of liver function grants another perspective to connecting the dots. The liver stores glycogen, yes, which a quick fuel source to tide metabolism over in between meals. This will provide about 12 hours of accessible glucose, which the body can break down adipose tissue and liberates ketones for fuel. All right, we could go through that process in much more excruciating detail, as well as the other supplemental fuel strategies that your body employs in absence of any one of those specific ingredients, but another story for another day. With a healthy and flexible metabolism, this shift is seamless, and fasting for several hours is uneventful. If metabolism depends on sugar for fuel, the transition elicits a stress response in the body whereby the adrenal glands release a hormone cortisol into the blood sugar. Aha! A drop in blood sugar is a root cause of waking in the night, stemming from the liver's increased need for energy to metabolize life in the form of dreams, as well as the liver's demand for fuel to detoxify pollutants. You can see the multiple different issues being highlighted from this specific topic. Whether the stress is physiological or emotional, metabolism is taxed and waking ensues as the elevation of cortisol and the adrenals is accompanied by the release of catecholamine hormones, ephedrine, and norepinephrine. These potent stimulating hormones will assuredly wake even the most sound sleeper. Of course, these hormones need not be tapped if blood sugar is balanced. That's why you shouldn't be eating poorly before bed, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Becoming metabolically flexible is key to staying asleep. Yes, indeed. There's a simple way to see if unbalanced blood sugar is at the root of sleep disturbance. Eat an early dinner and do not snack until bedtime. That's why it's important to at least wall off at least 2 hours before bed. Okay, that's always just been one of those colloquial things that's been out there for a long time, but yes, stick to that, and we got reasons why you probably should do that. Okay, eat an early dinner and do not snack until bedtime, and you will consume one of the following: a teaspoon of raw honey, no, a slice of lunch meat turkey, ew, and or a tablespoon of coconut oil. That's one of the least offensive things you could think of. Try each separately to see which, if any, preventing waking in the night. Which one work is a clue to how efficient your metabolism is at burning fats for fuel instead of depending on sugar. Yeah, raw honey is just going to give you a glucose by the boatful. Lunch meat, yeah, that'll just give you sulfates and other terrible things. But yeah, no, they're trying to give you some protein, which is a much more taxing fuel source on your body in order to break it down. So yeah, you're just trying to stress your energy cycles, okay? And then coconut oil, just straight up high quality fats, okay? You'd hope that the coconut oil right before bed, that would elicit the best response in your body. That would mean that you're at least fat adapted and that you're just burning adipose tissue. So hopefully that's the one that you're aiming for. If metabolically inflexible, which you don't want to be, the raw honey will likely be the only thing that works. If metabolically efficient, ketones from the coconut oil will work best. A protein such as a slice of turkey burns slower than the quick sugars of raw honey, but ultimately can be converted into sugar in the liver in a process called gluconeogenesis. Again, yeah, that's another one of those energy cycles that we could go through in great detail, but it's as boring as you could possibly get. Okay, it'd be like the phone book narrated by Ben Stein. Some people do best with a higher protein diet, and a slice of turkey will maintain their metabolic needs while providing a rich is not a word, rich source of tryptophan, the precursor amino acid to melatonin. Well, if you're eating really terrible, poor quality meats before bed in order to get tryptophan, you got several other problems, my dude. The nightly dietary experiment can aid sleep in the short term and clue you into the resilience of your metabolism. But the long-term goal is not to need a snack before every night. The solution is twofold. Eating a balanced diet and staying consistent to it. I think that that's probably the best way to go about this. Mitigating stress to prevent a nightly cortisol spike. Okay, fair enough. The mindset, as always. And shifting one's metabolism towards proteins and fats to become fat adapted. There it is, just right there. Okay, so work on your stress. Okay, perhaps start incorporating different stress relieving activities before bed. Not that one, you creeps. And then also eating a proper balanced diet, which we keep banging on the channel all the time. With both influences in place, stress hormones remain in check and sound sleep is restored. Understanding the different cultural interpretations in the liver and liver function is key to holistically addressing sleep as a metabolic disorder, leveraging the best of East and West medicine and be rewarded with deep restorative sleep. Exactly. So you should always be aiming towards being fat adapted, because that's the way that your ancestors and your body is metabolically shifted towards. We're not supposed to be running on carbohydrates and constantly fueling that glucose cycle by just injecting raw glucose into your body. Once carbohydrates are broken down, that's what they become, glucose. You just want to be engaging the adipose tissue and the fats that are there to begin with. Okay, cut out the middleman. Let your body run as it is intended, okay? And then, with that, you end up getting a fair and good night's sleep. So with that said, guys, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.